Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Owensboro Convention Center for the September, can't believe it's September, Rooster Booster Breakfast, of course brought to you by the Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce. Good to see you all this morning, and to begin our program, we're going to ask that you please stand for our invocation and pledge of allegiance, led this morning by Brescia University student Devonna Crocker.
If everybody could bow their heads and close their eyes. Most wise and heavenly Father, we thank you for waking us all up this morning and starting us on our way. We thank you in advance for the day that is ahead of us. We ask you to bless our community and all that work so hard to keep us safe and free. In a special way, we ask you to bless those members of our community who struggle with the many challenges of life. May our community always be characterized by compassion, love, and justice. Amen.
And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you can remain standing for this morning's Mingle Minute. I'm not sure why we still call the Mingle Minute because it's moments. it's several minutes, but our secret shaker this morning from Hilliard Lyons is Shannon Rains. Shannon, where are you? Good morning. So who did you shake hands with this morning? Brenda Clayton. Where is she? Come on up here. We have a big prize for you. Brenda, as if that snazzy Brescia University shirt on your chair isn't enough, you have a Brescia Bearcat gift basket. Apparently, Brenda got the memo about the color scheme today. Did you all notice? At this time, we'd like to welcome the folks who are tuning in via radio this morning on WOMI Owensboro. That is 99.1 FM, 1490 AM. Say this frequently, but if you're listening at home or in your car, we invite you to come to Rooster Booster in person someday. We'd love to have you here. Let's take a look at our brand new chamber members for the month. And we start with Fuji of Japan, which sounds so good. Hibachi Style Steakhouse with fresh sushi and full bar. They're now located at 4028 Frederica Street. Fuji Japan has recently changed ownership. Very excited to be in Owensboro. They're open for lunch and dinner. They have catering options. They take reservations and welcome large groups. They are a proud community partner and look forward to working with local schools and nonprofits to help with their fundraising efforts. So please welcome Danny Rianto and the team with Fuji of Japan. I was really hoping this morning that you all would demonstrate the onion volcano on your table. Really kind of disappointed you didn't bring those props. The Green River Asset Building Coalition began in 2004 as a cooperative of nonprofits, businesses, and volunteers, and was managed by the Lawrence and Augusta Hager Educational Foundation, providing free tax assistance to low-income families in Owensboro. This year, GRABC incorporated as an independent nonprofit organization. Their office is located inside OCTC's downtown campus, where they are helping families become economically self-sufficient while still offering free tax assistance. They're integrating a savings initiative. Please welcome Tina Ray Lynch with the Green River Asset Building Coalition. Andrea Mahoney's mission is to help clients buy, sell, and invest in properties. She helps individuals find their dream home by providing guidance and assisting sellers and buyers in marketing and purchasing property for the right price under the best terms. Andrea is proud to serve the greater Owensboro community, so please welcome Andrea Mahoney with Keller Williams Elite. For over 114 years, the Mary Kendall campus, located at 201 Phillips Court, Owensboro, has been a stable part of the community, providing adoption services and working with children and families through their residential and independent living programs for adolescent girls ages 11 to 17 years. Evolved Counseling Services is a new extension of Mary Kendall, opening October 1st, 2018. They'll provide behavioral, mental health, and substance abuse services to individuals and families within the community. So please welcome Roy Hicks and Shannon Gollner with the Mary Kendall campus. Morton Holbrook III is a retired United States diplomat, originally from Owensboro, now teaching part-time at Brescia University, now a proud member of the Chamber of Commerce, and he has his students here with him today. So please welcome Morton Holbrook III. People Ready is a true blue company, making it part of the largest industrial staffing company in North America. They help make business more productive with easy access to dependable temporary labor and specialized workforce solutions. And now with their JobStack app, you can manage your entire staffing process anywhere, anytime. Literally, from job order to payment, JobStack gives you flexibility in workforce management. Please welcome Robert Paulin and John Lynn with People Ready. The Catholic community of St. Stephen Cathedral serves as the mother church for the Diocese of Owensboro, the 32 counties and 78 parishes of Western Kentucky, to welcome, evangelize, and worship in the name of Jesus Christ. Originally established as St. Stephen Church in downtown Owensboro in the 1830s, this vibrant parish offers numerous ministries, including our 5-star cathedral preschool, an active St. Vincent de Paul Society, and the Arts at the Cathedral program. Please welcome Father Jerry Riney, Pat Ziri, David Hemingway, Pam Weefer, Donna Tarantino, and Eddie McFarland with St. Stephen Cathedral. The Veranda is an upscale boutique offering women's clothing and luxurious accessories for those who know and expect quality in the things they wear. They can help you quietly stand out in a crowd with a timeless sense of style and elegance in clothes that are at the same time pretty and fun to wear. The Veranda will welcome you with the gracious Southern hospitality the name implies and help you find exactly what you are looking for. So please welcome Kelly and Jim Campbell with The Veranda. Speaking of style, can we all get a time out for the fact that Candace and Jacqueline wore the exact same outfit today? But they both look beautiful, right? At this time, we're going to welcome our special guests who are with us today, our elected officials. If you are here, please stand. Kentucky State Senator Joe Bowen is with us today. Kentucky State Representative Suzanne Miles. Kentucky State Representative DJ Johnson. Mayor Pro Tem Bob Glenn is with us today. City Commissioner Larry Condor is here. City Commissioner Jay Vallada. County Commissioner Mike Koger. County Commissioner George Wathen. Davis County Sheriff Keith Kane. Davis County PVA Rachel Foster. Jailer Art Maglinger. And from the Owensboro Public Schools, the board members John Blaney and Jeremy Edge are here. A round of applause for everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if we happen to miss you, our apologies. We always eagle out the crowd and try to get everybody. If we did not get you, we apologize, but are still glad that you're here. At this time, we actually have a special recognition this morning. Very excited about this. And we would like to bring up Hank Phillips, who is the president and CEO of the Kentucky Travel Industry Association. And Hank has an exciting announcement and presentation for you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Our organization earlier this year, which by the way represents the $15 billion a year Kentucky travel and tourism industry, we decided earlier this year to begin recognizing a certain group of very important Kentucky counties. That recognition we call the Economic Engine Award. And it goes to counties where tourism has emerged as a premier driver of the local economy, just as tourism has emerged as a driver of Kentucky's overall economy. Here in Davis County, your impact from tourism, 2017 was $311 million. That coupled with, yes, I like this one just about as much as the dollar amount. You have over 2,000 jobs in this county that are supported by tourism. When you take those two things together, it is my honor to be here this morning to present a richly deserved Economic Engine Award to you, to Davis County. Accepting the award, and up here with me, are Mark Calitri, the President and CEO of the Owensboro-Davis County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Bureau's Board Chairman, Kyle Aud. Gentlemen. We'll get our photos later. We won't take up your time with that. But I want to say something to you very quickly, and that is, counties don't get this award unless they have a really strong Convention and Visitors Bureau, and you certainly have that, but it takes more than that. It takes a hardworking local industry. It takes warm and hospitable residents. It takes leadership from your local elected officials and strong and consistent support from your state legislators. You all have that complete team. You all are, in fact, you are that complete team. So to everyone here, all of Davis County, all of Owensboro, congratulations and thank you for what you do for Kentucky tourism and especially for tourism here in Davis County. Congratulations and thank you. One postscript. In this building, November 13 to 15, that whole tourism industry of Kentucky I told you about, going to be here. Our annual conference, 2018 annual conference, will be here in your great city of Owensboro, and we cannot wait to get back. Thank you all.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much, Hank. At this time, we would like to recognize our Ambassador of the Month from South Central Bank. Let's give a big rousing round of applause for Kevin Gibson. Kevin, thank you, and we're going to hook you up with a $50 gift card from Colby's this morning, so thank you so much. And a free Brescia t-shirt. Oh, I didn't put my hat on. Oh, wait. Is everybody wearing their hats? Oh, okay, a few of you. Okay, I'm going to do this. I look really bad in hats, but... Thank you, Bart. Bart says, yeah, you do. Thank you, I really appreciate that. It's great. I kind of feel like I look like Jack in the Box. Okay, we're super excited to have with us this morning the fine folks from Brescia University. Obviously celebrating a big birthday. You heard the birthday music blaring when you came in this morning. And we'd like to welcome up to the podium our breakfast sponsor, Father Larry Hostetter.
Good morning. As usual, Brescia is very happy to sponsor this month's Rooster Booster. We always look forward to this every year because it gives us a chance to highlight our students as well as the contributions we make to this community. And I do want to thank our advancement team. If you've been here in the last few years, you've seen balloons dropping from the ceiling. You've seen crazy shoes, house slippers worn by me, different types of things. I think they were trying to get a confetti cannon in here, and it was nixed because of the HVAC or something. And so they always do it up big, and they do a great job. And I promised 15 seconds. I will wear this in honor of Barney's birthday. I think 5 seconds are over. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, I think that's enough. All right. I don't look good in hats either. But they do a great job, and I'm deeply appreciative for all that they do to advance the mission of the university. We have a couple of big announcements today. Make sure I get my... The first is a new academic program that we just were approved for by our regional accreditor, SACS COC, in collaboration with the Owensboro Community and Technical College. So we've just received word that we can now offer a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Business beginning January 2019. These students will typically start at OCTC, where they will have earned an associate in applied sciences in agricultural studies, a degree program that already exists. And then if they desire to complete a 4-year degree, they can come to us, and those courses will transfer to us. We will accept them, and they'll be able to complete a bachelor's degree then in agricultural business in an additional 2 years. So it's our understanding that as of right now, we're the only 4-year institution that provides a path for community college students who have an associate degree in applied science to complete a bachelor's in 4 years. And that's something that I think is important because it's a way of ensuring that our local students can continue their studies and achieve a bachelor's degree if that's what they desire. We're deeply appreciative of all of our higher ed partners in Owensboro: Kentucky Wesleyan College, WKUO, and OCTC. This program is just one shining example of how these partnerships work. And I've said it before, I think I say it every year when I'm up here, is that this community is really very blessed to have 4 very high-quality, outstanding higher education institutions in Kentucky Wesleyan College, the Owensboro Community and Technical College, and Western Kentucky University, Owensboro, and in Brescia University. It's something that I think we as a community should not ever take for granted. In addition to this academic program, I want to highlight another important aspect of what we do at Brescia, and that's our athletic program, and not just for their competitive prowess. This past year, we were recognized as a 5-star gold rating from the NAIA, which is the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. The NAIA has, as part of their brand, a set of 5 core values: integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. And all of the institutions that participate in the NAIA are recognized for how well they live up to those core values. And so receiving a gold rating, which is the highest you can receive, a 5-star rating, is a pretty big deal for us because our athletic program is not just about being great athletes, it's also about being the best person that you can be. It's about character development. If it's not that, as well as doing great on the athletic field, then we're kind of missing our mark. So we're excited about that. So in terms of our students that were here, I want to kind of introduce some of them as well, because that's really the reason why Brescia University exists, are our students. And we have a number of them here. We have the Moore Scholars. They've received a scholarship as part of a presidential corps that represent my office at events like this, and they're right here. I'll have them all stand up here in a moment. We have members from our Student Government Association present, our Alumni Mentoring Program. You've already heard about Mr. Holbrook's political science class. We're excited that they are all here. It's a foreign policy class. And then the members of our broadcast staff are here as well, and other students. Would all the students that are here this morning skipping class please stand? Free breakfast, class. We also have a lot of people here that are charged with caring for these students, our staff, faculty, and board members, and I'd like to ask them to please stand. None of what we do would happen without them and their absolute and total dedication to you all, our students. They bring that dedication every day into the classroom, on campus, online, wherever they find themselves working, and our students benefit from that. I'm deeply appreciative of that as well. And of course, once these students graduate, there was a study done a few years ago of how many of the students that graduate from our four-year institutions stick around here in the region in Owensboro and become members of our community. And it's a significant number. Bart and I have talked about that before, and I know that's true for Kentucky Wesleyan, it's true for Brescia, that especially students that come from outside of the region, once they're here, they fall in love with this place, and many of them end up staying here. And this gives me an opportunity to thank all of you in the business community for providing the jobs, the internships, the practicum experiences available to our students that will get them even more engaged into our community. It's something that's incredibly important, not just for us as universities, but also for our community. Which brings me then to something that people always ask me about every year, which is our enrollment. It's pretty good this year. We have a head count of 1,040. This is now several years in a row now. Chris, how many years? 5 years in a row that we've been over 1,000 in terms of our head count. But really exciting for us this year is our freshman class, which is the largest freshman class we have had in history, with 230 students, first-time, full-time freshman students. The previous largest class was 199 in 1977. And then, of course, our total new students, which includes the freshmen and any transfers coming in, is at 375 this year. And this has been a little bit of a challenge in that we right now have 319 residential students, and that's about how many beds we have. So we're really packed in, and that's not a good thing if you're trying to do a university campus where, you know, sometimes roommates don't get along and they have to be moved and other things happen. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for us. And because of that, I come to mind now our second announcement, and that we have decided to move forward with the construction of 2 additional residence halls over the next 2 years. The first one will be on St. Anne Street. There's an empty lot there near the administration building, Bartholomew Taylor Hall, and the other one will be on 8th Street. They will be 2 two-story residence halls, adding an additional 70 to 80 beds to our capacity, residence hall capacity. This is a little bit of a leap for us. This is a little bit of a leap for us. We were planning on doing this, but not this early. We were thinking it'd be a couple more years down the road after we got the Field Center constructed. You all have seen the work there on the corner of 9th and Frederica Street. That is well underway. We kind of wanted to get that done first before looking at residence halls, but sometimes, you know, things just happen and you have to move forward a little bit more quickly. So we're excited about that, and our students deserve it. Thank you to all of you for the support that you show Brescia University, the encouragement you offer us. I think there is a deep recognition of the importance of all of our universities and colleges in this town, and I hope we continue that. I do have 2 quick announcements. One is, don't forget to go to the East Bridge Festival out at the Mount with the Ursuline Sisters. The Ursuline Sisters are incredibly important to us. They are why we exist. And the second one is, if you want to go along, we have a trip planned for next summer to Scotland and Ireland. It is a golfing trip, but you don't have to play golf to go. There'll be a couple of different packages available, including for non-golfers. So if you're interested in that, see me. I'll be glad to hook you up with the way to sign up for that. And then finally, happy 50th birthday, Barney. It's hard to believe he's 50. I don't know if you've seen him around. He's got great abs for somebody who's 50 years old. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the morning.
And now with your monthly chamber update, our president and CEO, Candace Brake.
Good morning, everybody. We have a packed chamber update today, so we'll get underway. First of all, today with us, we have our 2019 Leadership Owensboro class, and I'd like to introduce them. And as I introduce you, just stand up and please remain standing. Dr. Angela Ash with Owensboro Community and Technical College, David Borman, OMU, Audrey Collins from the Administrative Office of the Courts, Drug Court. Andrea Crabtree, BB&T. Laura Ruth Edge, L. Ruth Interior Design. Amber Farmer, Disaster Team. Elizabeth Griffith from the Wendell H. Ford Government Education Center. Amber Hall, Davis County High School. Dr. Jenny Jackson, Owensboro Community Health Network. Eddie Kinney, Kentucky Wesleyan College. Jacob Kuiper, Matthew 25 Aid Services. Brandon Lucas, Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline. Justin Marks from Independence Bank. Angela Mayfield, Hospice of Western Kentucky. Patty Millay, Patty from U.S. Bank. Charlie Payne from UniFirst Corporation. Leslie Neely from Kenergy. Dr. Ade Oradine, Owensboro Community and Technical College. Lieutenant Dave Powell from the City of Owensboro Police Department. Shannon Raines from Hilliard Lyons. Jared Revlett, Owensboro Public Schools. Mason Richardson, Republic Bank. Sydney Riney from the Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation. Dr. Janet Rowland from Rowland Family Dentistry. Morgan Russellberg from Brescia University. Shane Satterfield from Shane Satterfield State Farm Insurance. Kara Schroeder, Davis County Public Library. William Starks from U.S. Bank. Madison Strobel from Owensboro Health. Lindsay Trogdon from First Security Bank Incorporated. Erica Wade, Owensboro Health. And Lauren Wood from the Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations to this class. We had a record number. We had more applicants this year than we've had in at least 10 years. So congratulations on your acceptance, and we're so proud of you. We have an upcoming seminar for state and federal tax changes. Ronnie Hancock will be presenting that on September the 25th at 10:30 a.m., and this is free for chamber members. There have been a lot of changes in the past year on our small business owners and with federal tax changes too. So please come out to that if you have any questions, and they'll be happy to walk you through those new changes and how they impact your business. Chamber Young Professionals are super busy this month. Today we are having a ribbon cutting on the mural, which is on CVB building. That's been a great partnership between the CYP, the CVB, and the Davis County Fiscal Court. So join us today at 3:30 as we come together and celebrate that collaboration. One of those cool things that we like to, it's placemaking. It's economic development placemaking, and we ask you all to come out and celebrate that, and just another partnership in our community. They're also working with Habitat for Humanity on Saturday, September the 22nd from 8 to noon. It's Volunteer Day for Habitat. And then there's Yappy Hour, which is going to be at Miller House from 5 to 6:30 on the 27th. That's when you bring your dog, you sit out on the patio, you hang out. And I think you can come if you're a COP, right? Because I'm going to bring my dog. Save the dates. We're working on Go Vote. We need people to volunteer, to be with us. If you have any ideas, we're forming a committee with CYP, with our chamber advocacy group, and with the Wendell Ford Statesmanship Academy so that we can go from high school to millennial to the rest of us. We've got to get the vote out this year. It's extremely important that Davis County has a high voter turnout. We need to be engaged, and that's the way that we strengthen our voice in Frankfort and in D.C. And we have a lot of important races on the ballot this year. A couple of community things I'd like to remind you of. Davis County United Way campaign kickoff is going to be September the 14th at Owensboro Christian Church at 7:30. You know how important United Way is to so many of our organizations in the community. So please, if your small business is not involved in United Way, Fred May is here, David Ross, if you'd like to talk to them about setting up something so you can talk about how you can do that deduction. And Sheriff Kane, would you stand up for a moment? Sheriff Kane is working on another honor flight send-off. The departure is going to be next Tuesday, September the 11th at the Owensboro Sports Center at 1, and then they're coming back on Thursday, September 13th at the National Guard. We'll put this on our website. If you haven't gone to one of these, it's an extremely touching ceremony. This year, there's 2 World War II vets, or this time, we have several a year. There's 2 World War II vets, 10 Korean War vets, and we also have 8 Vietnam vets, and those are the guys that never got welcomed home. So if you can be a part of that welcome back and send off, please do. You won't forget it. It's a game changer for people. Ribbon cuttings we have today, Compass Counseling at 12:15, and the CYP Downtown Mural. Fuji of Japan is tomorrow at 12:15. The Veranda, September 14th at 12:15, and Freddy's Frozen Custard is September 19th at 4. The network is meeting several times this month. That's in your weekly email. They meet at 7:45 at various locations on the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. And that's a way to get with other small business owners and people to connect on what your business does to grow markets and to improve relationships. Thank you to all of our renewals. I want you to take a look in your Chamber Matters at the renewals. We have so many this month, and this is an example that collaboration, yesterday was a great day for Owensboro. Today we've had more announcements, and really at the heart of all those are the partnerships and collaborations. Those happen here at our Rooster Booster and through Chamber membership. So please look through your membership directories and look through your renewals. Thank those members, because those are people who believe in something bigger than themselves. They believe in the power of community. John Conte, what does it say? Coffee and friendship are the cornerstones of a good morning. That's the truth. And lastly, we want to recognize the 2018 Business of the Year, Cecil Farms. Suzanne Cecil White is here with us today. In Davis County, one of the most important pieces we have in our innovation and technology piece, kind of for the new age economy, is our ag and our new leaders that are growing up and coming into their own. And Suzanne and her sister have really taken the business on to a new level. And what they're doing is innovative, but it also creates the quality of place that makes people want to live here. So thank you, Suzanne, and to your family for all that you've done for Owensboro-Davis County. And we're going to leave you today with this video.
Hey, Suzanne, do me to plug your t-shirts. By the way, she has new t-shirts, banjos, barbecue, bluegrass, Cecil Farms, things you think of when you think of Owensboro, right? To introduce our guest speaker this morning, our board chair, Bart Darrell.
Good morning. We're really privileged to have Dr. Gary Cox with us today. I've known Gary a long time through education circles and other, and he's a true giant in higher ed in Kentucky. Currently, he's the president of the Association of Independent Kentucky Colleges and Universities that Brescia and Wesleyan are members of. Before that, he worked with the Kentucky Legislative Research Commission and served the Council on Post-Secondary Education. And I will say that Kentucky is known for lots of great things. One of them was the landmark legislation that really completely changed Kentucky higher education, called, of course, House Bill 1 in 1997. And Gary Cox was on the front line of that. And he's a very, very quiet, humble man, but his impact is much louder than he speaks. And for Kentucky, we'll always be indebted to you for House Bill 1, Gary. As president of AIKCU, Gary serves as CEO for the statewide membership association of 18 regionally accredited private colleges and universities, all nonprofit, the two best of which are coincidentally located in Owensboro, Kentucky. Gary, you didn't give me that, I added that, but we think it's a fact. There you go, he said it is true. AIKCU represents its members, the policymakers at the state and national levels, fosters information sharing, fundraising, networking, all kinds of resources for our students. Gary holds his bachelor's degree from Morehead State University. He has his master's and his PH.D. from the University of Kentucky, all in political science. And he has honorary doctorates from Morehead State University and Campbellsville University. Gary and his wife, Linda, live in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. They have a blended family of 4 daughters, 9 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me give Dr. Gary Cox a very warm Owensboro, Davis County, and Rooster Booster welcome, for he is truly one of the giants in higher ed in Kentucky.
One of the problems with a blended family, we have 2 Allisons. So you have to, we were calling one Big Allison, but she didn't like that. So you have to work those things out, when you do that. Bart, thank you very much. That was very, very kind. When Father Larry was introducing all the different people here, it reminded me of a story, a true story. I was there. Some of you will remember Ken Winters, who used to be a state senator from far western Kentucky, and a dear friend of mine for a long time was president of Campbellsville University. He was the dean of the technology program at Murray and been trying to get a building for about 15 years. And Bart, you may remember this, they had a Quonset hut, was their technology building. And so when Martha Lane Collins was governor, they finally got the building. So I went down, I was at the council, went down for the groundbreaking. These beautiful white chairs, had about 300 people there. And Ken got up to speak and started introducing people. And when Martha Lane got up to speak, she said, if there's anybody here that Ken Winters hasn't introduced, would you please stand up? So I thought of that when Father Larry was introducing everybody. I forgot this was being videotaped when I said they were the two best presidents, but they really are very good presidents. We actually have 18 great presidents, come to think of it. I do want to say thanks very much to Representative Miles and Representative Johnson. Representative Miles particularly has been very, very helpful to us between both her work in Frankfurt and her work with Congressman Guthrie, who I know was here at the last meeting. We're really blessed to have Congressman Guthrie where he is as chairman of the Post-Secondary Education Subcommittee. I knew him when he was a state senator. He's always been just a prince of a person to work with and a great guy, and we're really blessed. And same with your legislative delegation. I was telling them, that Davis County must be really important because you have 5 House members. I think you hold the record. Georgetown, where Georgetown College is, Scott County has 4. So obviously they understand the value of folks who have private colleges in their counties. A couple of other people that I would be remiss if I didn't mention. One is Morton Holbrook. Morton Holbrook was a dear friend of mine, was a member of the Council on Higher Education when I was director, gave a tremendous amount of his time and energy. We went through the development of a statewide desegregation plan at that time that Morton was just a tremendous leader on. And another person who was extremely valuable at the Council on Higher Education was a fellow by the name of Jim Miller from here. I know many of you know Jim. He was at a time in the old days and on the public higher education side, it was a battle of giants oftentimes between presidents who've been speakers of the House and that sort of thing. And Jim Miller had no fear when it came to wading in and making decisions about those institutions. So he was very, very valuable at that time. It's already been mentioned, and I'll mention it again because it really is very, very important. You have tremendous opportunity here, and I know you take advantage of it and are very supportive of a range of post-secondary institutions. Having the community college, having Western's Center, and particularly having Brescia and Wesleyan. You really have all the pieces here, and I know you're very supportive in utilizing those pieces. I kind of cut my teeth and took a few bruises as well coming to Owensboro when I first went to work for the council with folks like John Hager and others who were trying to decide what Owensboro really needed on the public side. We probably came down here. I was doing the legislative work then for the council, and we came down here several times, and there was just so much interest and so much concern, but a real difficult time deciding what was in the best interest of the community, of the two private colleges that were here, but at the same time finding a way to expand. And the final decisions that were made were extremely important. Also, you've just seen, I know, heard Father Larry, and then if you haven't heard Bart, I'm guaranteeing you're going to sometime, about all the great things that are going on at these two institutions. Enrollment's up, the information from Kentucky Wesleyan about the size of their new class. It's really great news for this community, and great news for Kentucky students that are here. So. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to Owensboro for the great work that they're doing and your support. In thinking about what I might talk about, and I would say, Candace, you need to reach out and grab my coat here if I get started here. We'll be here till lunch if somebody doesn't stop me when we start talking about higher education in Kentucky, post-secondary education with our private colleges. But Bart mentioned 1997, and I wanted to hearken back to that just a minute. We're not here for a history lesson, but it really not only changed, and oftentimes this is the discussion, it not only changed the public sector, but it really opened up a lot of doors for independent colleges in Kentucky. And I think oftentimes that's overlooked. we'd been through the reform, and any of you that were around at that time know that it really was brutal. I remember I had it for a long time. I've lost it over time, but there was an editorial in the Courier-Journal about we're going to find out who's the strongest, and the strongest Kentuckian, the governor or the president of the University of Kentucky. And that wasn't meant to be negative. They just had very different ideas about the future of post-secondary. And President Wethington, who was a good friend of mine, felt very strongly about the community college system staying with UK. Governor Patton felt equally strongly about that it should be an independent system. And so that's what got most of the attention. But it also then, once we got beyond that and the decision was made in 1997, then the number one commitment from that decision was increasing the number of bachelor's degree holders in Kentucky. The feeling was that, and I think it was a very valid decision, was that Kentucky was not going to move forward economically, socially, all kinds of ways, if we didn't improve the educational attainment level of our mostly young people, but all of us, and that needed to be done at the bachelor's degree level. And we were way down the list in this country. So that's what we do. You know, that's our core business. In many ways, it was for sure in 1997, was bachelor's degree education. Then in 1998, the decision was made by the General Assembly to move the lottery revenue to support student financial aid. Back when Governor Wilkinson was governor, and he basically was elected based on his promise to pay all the state's bills with the lottery money, and that would all go to education and really strengthen education. In fact, it went to the general fund, and the legislature, in their wisdom in '98, decided that we really ought to just go ahead and commit that to students, because that's what really the public anticipated that this would be for education. And that opened up a whole new vista for us from the point of view of opportunity, because, as you probably know, we live with an 1891 Constitution that among other things, has been decided that our members cannot receive any public money. So when Brescia and Wesleyan serve this community and serve the students, they do that totally just as you do as a chamber member and a business person with their own resources. So by moving that revenue to support students and assuring that our students would be able to participate in those programs, provided another kind of support for our private colleges and universities in Kentucky. So again, those two decisions, in my opinion, really brought us into the post-secondary education sector. It didn't hurt that Governor Patton was a longtime member of the at that time, Pikeville College Board of Trustees, and he had a strong feeling and desire to support private colleges. And if you know much about the mountains, we have several colleges in the mountains. There was not much public higher education in the mountains. Morehead State University and Eastern Kentucky University had those responsibilities, but the mountains, I remember Bart and Father Larry teaching an off-campus class when I was a young faculty member at Morehead, losing my car in potholes that were in these terrible roads that were made by coal trucks. You know, I mean, it was very difficult. So there was a real strong feeling about private colleges in that part of the country. So those two decisions really kind of laid the foundation for us. And when I came over to work with AIKCU after we had survived the battle that ensued over the change in '97, which was really a very, very epic struggle, and the right decisions were made, in my opinion. The council, the AIKCU was an organization that did some fundraising, kind of followed what was going on in the public sector. We'd worked very closely with them when I was at the council because we licensed private colleges, but we sort of lived in two worlds. And the 1997 and 98 decisions brought us together. And I would say to you today that private colleges in Kentucky, these 18 members that Kentucky Wesleyan and Brescia are part of, are full partners in the post-secondary arena in Kentucky. And the kind of leadership you have here, seriously, with Father Larry and Bart Darrell, are the kind of leaders we have across the state in private higher education. I see Marcia Carpenter sitting back there. Marcia also was a great supporter of students. She and I served together for a long time, and I still am still am suffering on the Higher Education Board. We serve, just kidding, the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, which is a very, very important organization in this whole financial aid world. So Marcia helped us grow up in that world. So that's a little bit of a background. So what does IQ do today? Father Larry asked me to particularly focus a little bit on the role of this organization. And if you go back to the first slide, okay, you see that where our 18 institutions are, and then also the 4 things that we really kind of organize our thinking around. One of the first things that we do is we connect our members. We're all in the same business. I came in last night, I saw Lindsey Wilson's bus sitting in front of the new facility at Brescia. And that's what we like. We want our members to have at it on the basketball floor and over on the football field at Kentucky Wesleyan. But we have a lot of things in common. So the first thing we do is we bring our staff together. We're sort of, I was thinking about this, we're sort of like the chamber. We're sort of like what you do. You're competitive in certain ways, but you also have a lot of the same issues that you're working together on. And we're small, and we're diverse, and we're pretty far apart. So we really develop networks. And we have about 20 listservs, for example. We bring our folks together. It's not easy to bring them together because we're also small organizations. Much like you, I'm sure, we would love to have more people on the management side, but our focus is not on the management side. So somebody mentioned I think you said there was going to be a new seminar on the new tax law. That's the same problem for us. All of a sudden, I started seeing questions on the listserv. How are you handling this new, this new application of this new law? What are you doing about your employees? Human resource folks were kind of at a loss about that. We don't have the depth on the management side to solve a lot of those problems in 18 different places. So one of the things is we connect our folks together, and they're very, very collaborative and work together, and it's very, very, very positive for us. We also collaborate a great deal, much like you do. How can we hold down costs? How can we improve services? How can we operate more effectively? One of the things that we've done, and this is going on around the country, we have 34 other organizations like ours in 34 other states, is we started building business partnerships. We have over 50 business partnerships now because it's very difficult for a small organization to be competitive when it comes to buying things and moving students around and all those kind of things. So this business partnership operation is now including a self-funded health insurance program. Health insurance is a really, I'm sure you know, a difficult issue when you're a relatively small organization. So we now have a national collaborative purchasing organization, basically, of all of our members around the country. And it's another way to maximize the resources that we commit to students and hold down those costs of running managing the operation. So we also do a lot of work, seminars and things like that, just around good business practices, how we get things done. Then we also were lucky enough recently in this process to get a Brown Foundation grant, and Father Larry's or Brescia has participated in this already. The Brown Foundation is very good to private higher education historically. They've done a lot of good things. So they came to us and said, we want to continue to be supportive, but we want to make sure can we help in any way? What can we do to help institutions on the management side? And we talked about a lot of different things. And we wound up with receiving a relatively large grant, a 3-year grant to do what's called optimizing academic balance. It's a fancy word for saying, what does our academic programming look like? I mean, that's our core business. How much is it costing us? what are our students interested in? What are our students that didn't come? What did they say they were interested in? Did we have enough courses in that area for them? Much like you would look at your business. So far, we have completed, 12 of our members have completed that process. And the other really nice aspect about this is, yes, we could find out what an academic program costs to deliver, so that's good, but now you have a number of other institutions who offer those same programs. So you can look at their situation and see, well, is my political science program at Brescia, how's our price compare, how's our delivery cost compare to other institutions? And there might be good reasons. You might have a senior faculty. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to eliminate a program. Music is very important to our members, particularly with their religious affiliations. We're not going to eliminate our music programs, even though they might be costly. But you would like to know how costly, how does it compare? So that's another kind of thing that we do. And another activity that I spend a lot of time doing is advocacy. So telling our story, working with Representative Miles and Johnson and other folks on just the importance of what we do, why we do it, answering questions, following legislation, and doing those kinds of things, because it really is important to do that. We also are I mentioned 97 on this advocacy piece, we're also very integrated now. And we've, for example, and it's not because of me, I just hold the position, but for example, we are now and have been for a number of years members of the Higher Education Assistance Authority Board of Directors, and I'm chairman of the Finance Committee. That really helps us because student financial aid and now the access to loan resources for student loans at an affordable price. We have the Higher Education Student Assistance Authority through their Advantage Loan Program and that sort of thing is much less expensive than even federal student loans. So being a part of that, where policy is made about how these programs operate, advocating for continued funding for these programs is a big part of what we do. Also, we member what's called the Conference of Presidents. The public presidents meet every month, and we join them. We changed the law, actually, to have my position on that board. It helps us a great deal to be a part of that. So we advocate in a lot of different ways, but that's basically what we do. And I always tell people, if I'm in the office, I'm probably not doing as good a work as I ought to be. I need to be out all the time. Plus, people at work get a whole lot more done when I'm not there, of course. Doing just exactly what you did. How do you fix this computer? So let me say a few words about our members. As we said, there are 18 members, all nonprofit, as Father Larry said, and just because we're not for profit, we're not for loss. We are businesses. We're just nonprofit businesses, if you want to think about it that way. We enroll about 45,000 students. About 28,000 of those are undergraduates, and that's, as I said before, been our core business. But an interesting thing is happening, not so much here because you have other opportunities with Western and others, but we see really a lot of growth in graduate education at some of our members, and that is driven to a great extent by distance learning. We have some institutions that are not very large at all on campus, but are very large on the distance ed side. And some of that is a matter of looking at your mission, what mission works best for you. And so we have a real array of types of institutions among these 18 members, from campuses that are fundamentally students are entry-level students who live on campus, to institutions that are growing pretty dramatically on the adult education side. We have 2 work colleges. There's only about a half a dozen work colleges in America where students work. And that basically pays their tuition. Berea College has been around a long time and has a very large endowment, but they live on their revenue from their endowment. Alice Lloyd College is in Pippapassas, Kentucky, is a small institution who has no endowment, and their president raises the money every year to support that institution. So there's that kind of variety. Spalding University is a downtown university in Louisville. They have, and I think you're doing this, Bart, at the online level. They have a 5.5, 6-week classes instead of the traditional class, because they have a lot of single moms. They serve a very diverse population, and so it's a lot easier, you know, if you have children and you're trying to go to school as a single mom, something comes up, you might lose 1 5 or 6 week session, but you don't lose a whole semester. So that's kind of the way we do business. Our members look at their missions, and that's what you see happening at Brescia and Kentucky Wesleyan, because the leadership understands the mission, understands what you're trying to accomplish. That's the reason that those institutions operate the way that they do. We produce about 8,000 degrees annually, and as I said, the number of degrees on the graduate side are going up pretty fast. A lot of misconception about what our folks major in. If you look across our sector, the 6 most popular programs, the degree programs, number 1 is business principles, number 2 is health professions, number 3 is social services, number 4 is biological and biomedical services. A lot of preparation for those programs that students at Kentucky Wesleyan are following to transfer or not transfer, but to go on to medical school or dental school, that sort of thing. Psychology and education. So if you think about those programs, almost every one of those programs either are preparing you to go on to a graduate program, or they're preparing you to go to work. And the difference for us is, in many ways, those programs are built on a very strong base, liberal arts and sciences base. So not only are you going to be an outstanding teacher or an outstanding member of the business community or an outstanding nurse, you're going to be somebody who knows how to think and work in teams and be a solid citizen and understand the value of human relationships. And that's really what makes us who we are. One thing, I'm running out of time, so I'll just tell you quickly. The other thing that's really important to us is student financial aid. 42% of our students receive a Pell Grant. That means they're very low-income students. So those folks that tell you rich kids go to private colleges, speak with Bart or Father Larry. That just is not the case. And so having that Pell Grant program for our students at the national level is very, very helpful. As I mentioned, Representative Guthrie is very, very important there. That's the foundation in our financial aid programs in Kentucky for eligibility to other programs. We have one program, which I know many of you know, that's merit-based. It was established in '98 when we moved the lottery revenue. It's called the KEYS program, Kentucky Educational Excellence Scholarship Program. You make good grades in high school, you earn money to go to college. I think it's a great program. You can take that money to a public institution, a private institution, a community college, a public four-year community college, get a degree. With it, you can get a certificate, a professional certificate. It's a great program. Then we have two merit-based programs, two need-based programs, the College Access Program, which you have to be eligible for a Pell Grant. That's part of why Pell is so important for eligibility. Then you're eligible for a CAP grant. You can take that to a public university or private institution, one of our members, for low-income students. And then we have what's called the Kentucky Tuition Grant Program, which is a program need-based, which is reserved for students who go to private colleges. So in Kentucky, particularly if you're low income, you can get a Pell Grant, which is a national grant, a CAP grant, and a KTG grant to go to one of our institutions. You can also have KEYS money if you do well in high school and take it any place. So continuation and support for those programs are very, very important to our students having access to our institutions and to all institutions. But if you think about that and you look at those numbers, every student in Kentucky can take all of those programs except the KTG grant to any institution. So the only program that's reserved for our students is the KTG program, which is funded at about $27 million. So for a $27 million investment by the Commonwealth of Kentucky in our students. We produce about 20% of the bachelor's degrees. So if you think about that, it's a pretty nice return on the state's investment. Our members provide about $300 million in support of students. So again, that's a pretty nice return on the state's investment. And so those are the kinds of points that we make as we talk to legislators. And if I couldn't leave you with anything else, it would be support student financial aid. It's the threshold. We have so many low-income students in Kentucky. We want them to get ahead. You know, we are here to serve them. Some of them will go to community colleges. Some of them will go other places. That's okay. We're in this all together. We'll do our part, and we'll provide a tremendous amount of support to those students, not only financially, but you know, when you walk on a campus and you know a student's name, the president knows your name, and the faculty spend a lot of time with you. I've been in meetings on these campuses with leadership, and they'll say, you know, where's Bart? You know, he's not been in my class. I'm here, he's not coming to class. Somebody will go find Bart and find out what's going on and get him back in class. You see how he turned out. So seriously, that's our core business. That's what we do. We bring a tremendous amount of economic impact to communities. We did an economic impact study about that, and we find that it makes a big difference to Owensboro. When a student from out of state comes to one of these two institutions, they're a 9-month tourist. You know, they live here, they spend their money here, and so it's a great advantage. And you keep a lot of Owensboro students here for these institutions. You'll keep some out-of-state students here too, who will be major players in your community. So I have a lot more to talk about, but I'm out of time. I knew that was going to happen. So come and see us. If we can provide any information, please do that. Let me know. AIKCU.org, and I'd be glad to come talk to any of your groups. And be sure and send your students to our two institutions. And congratulations to these two institutions, both of whom are doing great work. Their enrollment's up, and they're just outstanding institutions. Thanks a lot. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Gary Cox. Before we adjourn this morning, we actually have two exciting pieces of news to share. Some of you here are probably already aware of this. Some may not be, so we're really excited to share this morning. Okay. So as you all may or may not be aware, a lot of local leaders from different agencies and businesses got together and basically got to work, rolled up their sleeves and created for us a community priorities list, basically a checklist of objectives that we would like to accomplish to greater strengthen Owensboro and Davis County. Well, guess what? The last couple of days have been very busy on that list, and we've checked a couple of boxes off. The first, this is very exciting, Owensboro Health, in partnership with the University of Louisville, have announced and launched a new family medicine residency program that will begin in 2020. In fact, the program is going to start with 6 resident physicians, and then we'll add 6 additional each year after that. But that's super exciting, so a big round of applause. By the way, the estimated economic impact annually is in the millions of dollars because of this program, so that is huge. For one position, seriously, it's huge. The second piece of news to share this morning, I love this, like Wonder Woman and Captain America, we are getting our shields. Right? This is so awesome. Go ahead and applaud. This is huge. Expediting the signage that is going to be along the Natcher, the I-165 corridor, that is absolutely huge. Those signs are going to be in place very, very soon. And it really does literally and figuratively secure Owensboro, Davis County's spot on the map. That is amazing and worth celebrating. So a big round of applause. A week from this afternoon, Blue Angels are going to be doing test runs over the Blue Bridge downtown. You all will see at the air show. Hopefully have a great September. We'll see you in a month at Rooster Booster.